Welcome back to the channel, guys. I hope you guys are having a great day. Today I want to do a not old time sake video, but I want to do, I feel as though, I actually don't really know the right words to start this. I miss you guys, I love you guys, and I feel like I've been unconnected from you guys. It has been 1 year, it's been more than a year since I put the wish parts on the BRZ, and it has been a year since I bought the Civic. So not all the parts have been on there for a year, but in general, I've owned that car for a year and I've been putting wish parts on it the entire time, which doesn't sound safe now that I'm saying it, but it's been a lot of fun. And in the most recent months, we kind of ran out of wish parts to do, and I was like, look, we're not gonna do the wish mods anymore. The wish mods are kind of over with. They're like, don't want to kill myself. And I had put on every wish part that I could possibly find that seemed interesting, and I was just like, we're gonna change directions. But something about doing the wish build, how I included you guys and asked you guys what you want, it was like our car. Like the Civic, it still probably feels like that to you guys, but I feel like I have been less connected to you guys because I used to ask you guys for opinions on everything. And yes, I'm still gonna do whatever I want at the end of the day, it's my stuff, but your guys' opinions do matter, and I did take them into a lot of consideration. You guys did choose a lot of stuff on that car, like 100%. You guys helped build that car, which is sick. I don't want to overdo the wish stuff, you know, like I don't want to be that guy, but I met so many people recently doing shows and stuff, and it's been unreal, and you guys have said, like, you know, I love you because you did something different. And I feel like maybe I haven't been doing something different for a while. It's been a minute since we did something different. What do you guys think about, you know, another build that's kind of like boosting on a budget? Like you guys can do what I do and you can actually do it at home. Would you guys be down for another budget build? Not necessarily wish parts, but another like budget built vehicle, or is that too much? I want every single one of you guys to answer. I don't care if you're first time, second time, 100th time watching this channel. I don't care if how old you are, how young you are. There's a poll right here. Answer it, please. I love you guys. Let's go to the garage.
I'd like to love you, love you. I'd like to love you night and day, if I may.
I just realized that tire, 100% flat. I'm pretty sure on the way back from Calgary we ran something over because this tire has been consistently going flat ever since we got home. I haven't checked it for it yet. Oh, there it is, dude. Look at right as I'm telling you. Boom. What even is this? Is like half a screw? Oh man. Well, that explains that. That would be why we got the flatsy tire. Anyways, I think we're gonna start off with the Wish products. We're gonna do all the Wish products first, and then since some of the stuff, yeah, it wasn't from Wish, but it was part of like the budget build, I will include all like the budgety things that we still have left on this car. So if you guys are interested, kick back for the next 5-10 minutes. And I think we're gonna start with the BRZ because the BRZ has had these things on for more than a year. So like I was saying, this happened last April. It is now May, so this has been more than a year. There's not much to it, but there is a couple things that the BRZ lasted with. You guys remember we started with the headlight tint and the shift knob and the canards. The headlight tint bubbled off like a month later. I took it off. The shift knob, wasn't a fan of how lightweight it was. It felt really, really cheap, so I sent that away to a subscriber. And then the canards I've actually left. Surprisingly, they've held up perfectly fine. Like they when you pull on it, the whole bumper still moves. It's not like they're about to fall off. I think it's probably because they're like cheap, durable rubber that they're still there. But honestly, like I don't mind the way they look. That's why they're still there. But like surprisingly, they've held up. The only other Wish things that are on this car are these turn signals. These are actually from Wish, and so are these. This is the showstopper. This is the I can't believe you got that on Wish part. So are the taillights. Now these look exactly like, I'm pretty sure they're Tom's. Buddy Club. Buddy Club? They might be Buddy Club. These look exactly like, they're like a replica of like the Lamborghini taillights, and that's exactly what they are, but they actually look good. And they've given me zero issues. So you guys remember, I put some sealant around the outside when I first picked these up. I would just like caulk the whole back, that way they wouldn't leak and nothing would, you know, go wrong with them. And aside from the fact that right here, it was obviously poorly manufactured, you could see that the black behind here is rubbing on the lens. They work, and they actually work really nice. And I wasn't a huge fan of these when I first picked them up. I kind of have other taillights that I prefer, but these ones grew on me, and like the sequential, that still works, which is like, I think to me, that's the biggest shocker. $400 on Wish. So you kind of expect them to be good because at that point, you're basically paying for a real pair. Like when you put on your turn signal, that actually flashes right there, which is kind of cool. They're really weak and cheap bulbs, but they've lasted. And I think the key for these things, especially because they're from Wish, is they haven't water leaked. Now onto this thing. This thing is still covered in Wish parts. Lots of them have come off, lots of them have stayed on. Something that the reason I'm making this video is because I realized something still works, and I was like, dude, this is worth noting, because at the time, didn't have high hopes. Oof. The headlight bulbs, these things were 40 bucks on Wish. I remember buying them and they were so cheap for LED bulbs, and I was like, dude, there's no way they're gonna last. They still work, and I've driven this car a lot. If you guys are going for the cheap LEDs, you'll get at least a year out of them, which is sick. The lug nuts, I think we can all agree that, you know, these are just the cheap aluminum lug nuts. They are not meant to last very long. They're still here, they look like shit. The over fenders are, let's backtrack a little bit. If you do them like this, for those of you guys that don't know, these are wide body fenders and they're just molded to the car. They look kind of shitty because we did plasti dip it and we didn't have to worry about that. But these are molded fenders. So if you get the fitment right, like this is still, I can pull on this with my whole body weight, solid fender. If you get the fitment wrong, so both fronts rub, I think it's just like the offset on the wheels in the front is just a little bit too much. So they rub barely, like I can fit my finger in here right now, but when you're flexing hard or when you're turning the wheel or something, they do tend to rub. And that resulted in a full crack right here. And this is not a crack in the bond, like this is a crack in the Bondo, but if you look, it's a crack in the actual fender too. That's what you can expect from like the cheaper plastic. And over here is completely annihilated. Behind this sticker, there is a gaping hole because I was turning coming out of my driveway. No, look at the carnage. Dude, I can't believe I just did that. One wheel went up on there, so the whole car flexed. And I heard this crunch, and you guys know ever since we put those coilovers on that we've been hella low, and I was like, oh, it's just the fenders rubbing. And then I look over and I can see, I see a whole chunk of fender on the ground, dude. What the hell? So sorry. So the plastics, they're cheap. They're what you should expect to get when you order over fenders on Wish. Remember, this is a new exhaust because the old one, the hangers blew off. It had been like 6 months. It hadn't even been through winter yet. It literally hadn't even been through winter. It hadn't even rusted, salted, anything. And I was taking the exhaust off to do something and the hanger snapped right off. So the quick release actually still works. I gave it to Brad for him to put it in his 240 because it actually works, it does its job. Nothing wrong with it. And honestly, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with this either. So the steering wheel as it sits right now, it looks okay, but what you guys can't really tell is it comes apart. It is not meant to do this. I'm kind of hit or miss. So this wheel was cheap. Something that you guys probably remember, when you put this on, you could twist it back and forth. Like you could full out flex this wheel. You're not supposed to be able to flex a wheel, but it never broke when we were driving. This happened when we did a safety test and I grabbed the wheel and I yanked it because I was like, I wanna know if I get in an accident. There's a video that went around Instagram. The steering wheel pulled off. And I was like, damn, if that happens to me, I wanna say after 1 year, you could still have this, but it just might not be the safest. Next on that list we have window winders. These things are, they're not the best. They've cut me multiple times. I have like this right here, that cut that's almost gone. That's from literally opening the passenger window. When you hit yourself on this, it just tears you open. And Brad's done the same thing where he like literally sliced his finger open on this. These are garbage. I just have to find the old ones in the abyss of Civic parts and replace it because I'm not too happy with it. The turbo blanket and the heat wrap, they were okay, they worked. The heat wrap was blue when I put it on and it turned white by the end of it. The color just washed right out of it when it got wet. And the turbo blanket kind of set itself on fire a little bit, which I didn't notice until I was taking it off and I realized there's like an entire black mark inside of it. So that wasn't too good. So I threw both those things away. Again, kind of safety hazards. And then the underglow, that lasted about 45 minutes. I can't even show you guys it anymore because it is completely gone. When I put the new exhaust on, when we were under the car, I just cut off all the underglow. So basically what happened was it says it's weatherproof and it wasn't weatherproof. And as soon as some water got in behind there, it started burning the LEDs and it just blew up. It didn't last very long at all. Door shifter is still good. It's actually right here in this pile of stuff that I haven't put a home for yet since we moved. It's still good. It just doesn't fit properly in this transmission that we have now. A lot of you guys say the LS transmission will hold it, which it probably will, but when I put it in, it's loose, and I don't like how it's loose. It makes me nervous, so we don't have it in right now, but it does still work. And I think those are all the main Wish items, or items that we still kind of have or were from Wish in the first place. There's a lot of other things that are from like Amazon and stuff too, and a lot of DIYs that I'll go over with you, but for those of you that are concerned with just the Wish stuff, that was it. First off, these seats are still here. They make noise now, and they're a little bit, I don't think, yeah, they're definitely not supposed to move as much as they do. These are something that I would like to replace, especially as we put more and more power in this car. These get more and more abuse, and not a fan of that really, but they're still here, they still work. Then we got things like this was a very cheap, I think $60 boost gauge from Princess Auto. It does a great job. I've never had an issue with it. I actually don't mind the way it looks either, kind of like it. This is a AEM AFR gauge. I didn't want to play around with AFR, so we spent the money on that one. And this one is like Dragon Garage or something oil pressure. It's wonky as hell, and I don't really think it's accurate. It kind of reads all over the place, and then I've swapped a real one on there before. Oh, shut up. And it gave me a way more solid reading, and it wasn't jumping around so much, and I'm pretty sure it's just like the gauge part of that. It's not meant for real life. It's meant for show. But it works, and it gives you a somewhat accurate reading if you guys care. That thing was from Amazon. Back here we did the wood trunk, and then I do have to say, I used thinner wood here, and I told you guys, you know, whatever, it is what it is, but look. See how these don't go together anymore because the lip, these are supposed to click into each other. Like they click into this one, clicks into that one, and it makes a solid thing. But because this was like cheaper wood that I got, it broke. So the lips don't click together anymore. So these are all separate pieces now. And because of that, they're a lot looser and they're not so good. Now that was a completely free mod. If you guys remember, I got the wood for free from someone that was giving it away. So that is, I still recommend that's the way you do it, but if you're gonna do it with a thicker wood, because I did the same thing on the BRZ. The only difference is I used a thicker wood, and you guys can see like that's solid. That's not going anywhere. Like I can put my whole weight on that and nothing happens. And it's literally just the thickness of the wood. This is like double the width of that. So it can be done and it can be pulled off for free, like I just showed you over there, but just make sure you get the thick wood because this stuff was not happy. We are now running Yonaka coilovers. They are like a nice real coilover set. I used to be running coil sleeves, but if you guys watched the video where we put in the coilovers, I mentioned how the coil sleeves were fine. There was absolutely nothing wrong with them. And if you guys are going for like a cheap first way to lower your car, or like you just don't know if you want to lower your car and like you want to try it out, 100% recommend them. They were fun and they worked, but I wanted more. And then under here, this has all changed. Not anything really here is Wish anymore, but nothing ever here really was Wish. Something that is cool though is like we did this full B18 swap. The motor was 100 bucks, the tranny was 150 bucks. And then I just kind of pieced together everything else you see here for like a decent price. Like I found this used for 10 bucks. The turbo kit I already had. And then like motor mounts and everything, I just picked them up used for like super cheap. All in all, this was never, like after we started doing the motor swap, it was never like a Wish motor swap. It was still pretty heavy on the budget side and it was actually really budget friendly. I think I'm into about 1,500 bucks total, like to get it running and everything. So that's really not that bad. But I've yet to have any issues with this turbo. This turbo I have abused. I've run 25 pounds of boost on this at one point when we were trying to blow up that old motor, and like it handled fine. Like the wastegate, everything to do with the turbo kit, all the intercooler piping, the intercooler itself, everything like turbo kit wise is still perfectly fine and still kicking ass. I guess too, this garage door trim, this was a $20 like garage door trim lip. It is held up amazing. Like I don't even know what to say about this. This is amazing. I've curbed so hard that I punctured that intercooler pipe, yet this doesn't even have a scratch on the bottom. So kind of weird, going over it, I felt like I just went over everything really fast. I felt like there's not much left. I do have a few products that I actually bought from Wish that I haven't put on anything yet. They just like, for whatever reason, they never got installed. So I think I might also do a video just installing like leftover Wish parts because I have a bunch of crap that I ordered and I don't know what to do with it. But that's kind of it. That's what you can expect. It was a super fun time. Like the last year has been really fun just trying parts and like, sure, they're risky and they might break and they might blow up, but it's kind of fun like just seeing what might happen or if it's gonna work or finding that weird, really cheap part that does a good job. I don't know, man, Wish is a really hit or miss thing. It's like just like the most budget version of anything you can find, and a lot of times the stuff impresses you more than you think it would. Okay, that's all I'm gonna have for you guys in today's video. I just wanted to cover everything that we have done. If you guys are not subscribed, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss any of the awesome content we have coming your way. There's a lot of cool shit that's always going down on this channel. So thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, let me know about maybe another project, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out and stay committed.